Your Excellencies, प्रधानमंत्री किशिदा, प्रधानमंत्री एंथनी अल्बनीजी और राष्ट्रपति बाइडेन। प्रधानमंत्री किशिदा, आपके शानदार आतिथ्य के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आज टोक्यो में मित्रों के बीच होना मेरे लिए बहुत खुशी की बात है। मैं सबसे पहले प्रधानमंत्री एंथनी अल्बनीजी चुनावों में विजय के लिए आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई, बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। शपथ लेने के 24 घंटे के बाद ही आपका हमारे बीच होना क्वाड मित्रता की ताकत और इसके प्रति आपकी प्रतिबद्धता को दिखाता है। एक्सेलेंसीज, इतने कम समय में क्वाड समूह ने विश्व पटल पर एक महत्वपूर्ण स्थान बना लिया है। आज क्वाड का स्कोप व्यापक हो गया है और स्वरूप प्रभावी हो गया है। हमारा आपसी विश्वास, हमारा डिटर्मिनेशन लोकतांत्रिक शक्तियों को नई ऊर्जा और उत्साह दे रहा है। क्वाड के स्तर पर हमारे आपसी सहयोग से एक फ्री, ओपन और इंक्लूसिव इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र को प्रोत्साहन मिल रहा है, जो हम सभी का साझा उद्देश्य है। कोविड-19 की विपरीत परिस्थितियों के बावजूद हमने वैक्सीन डिलीवरी, क्लाइमेट एक्शन, सप्लाई चेन रेजिलियंस, डिजास्टर रिस्पांस और आर्थिक सहयोग जैसे कई क्षेत्रों में आपसी समन्वय बढ़ाया है। इससे इंडो पैसिफिक में शांति, समृद्धि और स्थिरता सुनिश्चित हो रही है। क्वाड इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र के लिए एक कंस्ट्रक्टिव एजेंडा लेकर चल रहा है। इससे क्वाड की छवि एक फोर्स फॉर गुड के रूप में और भी सुदृढ़ होती जाएगी। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
It's wonderful to be together with friends and at this transformative moment in the world, and we are at a transformative moment. Prime Minister Kishida, I want to commend you for the extraordinary leadership that over the past few months that you've shown, and for the gracious way in which you've hosted all of us. And Prime Minister Modi, it's wonderful to see you again in person. Thank you for your continuing commitment to making sure democracies deliver, because that's what this is about, democracies versus autocracies, and we have to make sure we deliver. Prime Minister Albanese, I welcome you to your first Quad meeting. Like I said, you got on a plane, you were sworn in, got on a plane, and if you fall asleep while you're here, it's okay, because I don't know how you're doing it, but it's really quite extraordinary, just getting off the campaign trail as well. Congratulations on your election. As I told you when you won, I called you that we greatly appreciate your commitment of being here so soon after taking office. Quad leaders met for the first time just over 1 year ago. It seems longer, but today our partnership is central to achieving our goals and critical for the foundation of our continuing cooperation, in my view. We already accomplished a great deal, as was referenced earlier, cooperating on COVID-19 response and health security, more to do, to state the obvious, partnering on 5G and technology supply chains, technology standard setting, and launching our Quad Fellowship Program, which I think can make a difference, which we talked about earlier. At the same time, we're navigating a dark hour in our shared history. The Russian brutal and unprovoked war against Ukraine has triggered a humanitarian catastrophe, and innocent civilians have killed in the streets, and millions of refugees are internally displaced as well as exiled. And this is more than just a European issue. It's a global issue. The fact is that if you turn on the television and you'll see what Russia's doing now, it appears to me that Putin is just trying to extinguish a culture. He's not even aiming at military targets anymore. He's taking out every school, every church, every natural history museum, as if to try to obliterate the Ukrainian culture. And the world has to deal with it, and we are. The global food crisis is made worse by Russia's blocking Ukraine from exporting its millions of tons of grain. And also, as long as Russia continues the war, the United States will work with our partners to help lead a global response, because it's going to affect all parts of the world. At the same time, the United States must and will be strong, steady, and enduring partner in the Indo-Pacific. We are in the Indo-Pacific. We are an Indo-Pacific power. As once asked by, well, I won't go into it, but I was once asked by the leader of China why I kept talking about being an Indo-Pacific power. I said, because we are. We share the Pacific, one entire side of our country. And we have been deeply involved with all of you for a long time. As long as Russia continues this war, we're going to continue to be partners and lead a global response. And you know, we're Indo-Pacific power, as I said. We're going to stand with you, our close democratic partners. And we're going to stand for the shared values that, and the shared vision we all have. You know, shortly before Russia launched its invasion, my administration published our Indo-Pacific strategy to advance a free, open, connected, secure, and resilient Indo-Pacific. Russia's assault on Ukraine only heightens the importance of those goals. The fundamental principles of international order, territorial integrity and sovereignty, international law, human rights, must always be defended, regardless of where they're violated in the world. So the Quad has a lot of work ahead of us. It's, the fact of the matter is that we have a lot of work to do, keeping this region peaceful and stable, tackling this pandemic and the next one, and addressing the climate crisis as referenced by our new colleague, ensuring that technologies of the future are governed according to our values, But in a short time, we've shown the Quad isn't just a passing fad. We mean business. We're here to get things done for the region, and I'm proud of what we're building together, and I look forward to our vital partnership flourishing and for many years to come. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Minister Albanese, welcome to Tokyo. I would like to offer my sincere congratulations.
選挙直後に日本まで足を運んでいただいたこと、心からアルバニージー首相に感謝を申し上げたいと思います。昨年来、ジョーのリーダーシップにより、4カ国の首脳はたびたび会合の機会を持ってきました。本年、日本がバトンを受け継ぎ、こうして東京で首脳会合を実現できたことを大変嬉しく思っています。昨年9月の会合以降、我々が重視する法の支配に基づく国際秩序を根底から揺るがす事態が起きました。
Since we met last September, Russian invasion into Ukraine squarely challenges the principles which are enshrined in the United States. We should never ever allow a similar incident to happen in the Pacific.
4カ国の連帯と自由で開かれたインド太平洋という共通のビジョンと強固なコミットメント
countries' solidarity and our firm commitment toward the shared vision.
本日は対面であることを生かして国際情勢や地域情勢について
I am looking forward for a candid exchange of
楽しみにしています。
situations.
地域諸国と共に歩むことなしに
Keeping in step with the countries in the region, we cannot secure success for the Quad either. We should therefore listen carefully to the voices of the countries in the ASEAN, South Asia, as well as the Pacific Island countries, so as to further advance cooperation conducive in solving urgent issues facing the region. During this meeting, I wish to verify the concrete progress of broad-based practical cooperation that we have to discuss new areas of cooperation, such as assisting in regional climate change countermeasures, maritime domain awareness, as well as humanitarian aid and disaster relief. Now, first of all, may
Well, Prime Minister Kishida, President Biden and Prime Minister Modi, firstly, can I thank you for your sincere congratulations on my election as Australia's 31st Prime Minister. It is an honour that this is my first act as Prime Minister to attend this important Quad Leaders meeting here in Japan. And as we gather today, I acknowledge all that the Quad has achieved. Standing together for a free, open and resilient Indo-Pacific region, and working together to tackle the biggest challenges of our time, including climate change and the security of our region. My government is committed to working with your countries, and we are committed to the Quad. The new Australian government's priorities align with the Quad agenda, taking action on climate change and building a stronger and more resilient Indo-Pacific region through better economic security, better cyber security, better energy security and better environmental and health security. Our cooperation is built on the values that we share: a commitment to representative democracy, the rule of law and the right to live in peace. Today we look ahead to the work we're yet to do. As the Indo-Pacific is reshaped, our Quad partnership is needed now more than ever to meet the challenges and threats of a less certain world, to shape that world for the better, and build a stronger, more cooperative Indo-Pacific region that respects sovereignty. The region is looking to us to work with them and to lead by example. That's why my government will take ambitious action on climate change and increase our support to partners in the region as they work to address it, including with new finance. We will act in recognition that climate change is the main economic and security challenge for the island countries of the Pacific. Under my government, Australia will set a new target to reduce emissions by 43% by 2030, putting us on track for net zero by 2050. We have had a change of government in Australia, but Australia's commitment to the Quad has not changed and will not change. And our commitment to ASEAN and its centrality has not changed. My government has already committed to a greater focus on Southeast Asia, including the appointment of a special envoy for the region and $470 million in additional foreign aid over the next 4 years. This is in addition to our increasing assistance to the Pacific by over $500 million, deepening our defence and maritime cooperation and using the power of proximity to strengthen our partnerships. We will bring more energy and more resources to securing our region as we enter a new and more complex phase in the Pacific's strategic environment. And we will continue to stand with you, our like-minded friends. And collectively, we will continue to stand up for each other. We will stand firm on our values and our beliefs, on what we know will enhance the stability and prosperity of our region, and what is firmly in the interests of all those who call the Indo-Pacific home. I'm honoured to be among such close friends of Australia, to take these next steps with you to pursue positive and practical ways to support a free, open and resilient Indo-Pacific. I look forward to strengthening our Quad partnership, starting with a productive meeting today. And I'm delighted to hand over to Prime Minister Modi.
はい、アルバニージー首相ありがとうございました。では次はモディ首相よろしくお願いします。